boys and girls. My name is Jan Daniel, and I am the author of the book Susie Snowflake. Susie Snowflake is a story about a snowflake's journey. We all take journeys in our life, and I hope that you'll enjoy listening to the story about Susie's journey. Susie Snowflake. Once upon a time, there was a snowflake named Susie. She was born on a cold winter's day, high above the earth, in a soft gray cloud. Susie had lots of brothers and sisters, as well as aunts and uncles and cousins and friends who lived in the soft gray cloud with her. Susie was a happy snowflake. She loved to tiptoe around on her soft gray cloud, because that's how snowflakes play, very quietly on their tiptoes. One day she tiptoed over to the edge of her gray cloud and peeked over to see a large, colorful ball below. She was careful not to get too close to the edge because she was afraid of falling. "What is that?" Susie asked. "That is the earth," replied her Aunt Crystal. "Is it like our cloud?" she wondered. "Well," said Aunt Crystal, "it's not as soft as our cloud. Earth is a strange and wonderful place, filled with lots of trees and flowers and mountains and rivers and streams and oceans. One day you'll get to go there." What an exciting place that would be to visit, thought Susie. Well, sure enough, one day as Susie was playing, her mom and dad called her in to come and sit down beside them. They wanted to tell Susie about a fantastic journey that she would be taking. "What's a journey?" Susie wanted to know. "A journey is a special kind of trip. Everyone makes journeys in their life," answered her mom. "Where am I going?" Susie asked. "To a wonderful place filled with love," her dad answered. "Is it Earth?" Susie wondered. "Yes," her mom answered. "Well, how will I get there?" Susie asked. "You'll simply fall there," her dad said. "What?" shouted Susie. Now, as snowflakes never ever shout, it was quite a shock for Susie's parents to hear such a loud noise. Snowflakes, as a general rule, are very, very quiet. "Shh, calm down," said Susie's dad. "Let us explain." But, Susie interrupted, "You know, I'm afraid of falling, and I might get hurt or break into pieces, or worse yet, I might even melt, and then what would happen to me?" "You will always be you, no matter what," her dad told her. "And," her mom said, "all your brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins and friends will be going too." Susie was getting excited now, thinking about her trip. "Well, will they come with me?" she asked. "No," said Susie's dad. "Some won't come down until later, but eventually we'll all fall to Earth and we'll meet you there." "Will it hurt to fall to Earth?" Susie wondered. "No," said Susie's mom, "because even though you have never fallen before, you will know how to fall when the time comes, and you won't get hurt. In fact, it can be quite exhilarating." Well, Susie wasn't sure she understood the word exhilarate, but she decided to make the trip anyway. As Susie was tucked into bed that night, she wondered, what would Earth be like? Would there be lots of other snowflakes to play with? Or would she be all alone down there? She thought and she thought until she fell asleep. She was still a teensy-weensy bit worried about making this trip to Earth all by herself. Earth was so very far away, and she never thought she would really go there. And to get there, all she had to do was fall? Well, she just wasn't sure about this at all. Her brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins and friends came to see her off. They all cheered as she softly began her journey. Susie slipped off the cloud and felt herself falling. She waved to her family and friends as she slowly floated toward Earth. "Hey, this is fun," she said as she left the cloud. "Maybe I really won't hurt myself or break into pieces when I hit the Earth." Susie looked around and saw there were other snowflakes falling at the same time. They were all smiling and turning over and over and swaying side to side. Slowly, 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 Susie fell to Earth. Well, about halfway down, she realized that she actually did know how to fall, even though she had never ever fallen before. "This is more fun than tiptoeing," Susie thought. Then she decided to play in a snowflake kind of way, of course. She swayed side to side. She turned over and over. She was having the time of her life when suddenly she realized she had landed on something. Something wet. Something very wet. Something big. Something very big. Suddenly a strange feeling came over her. She had never felt like this before, and she wasn't at all sure what the feeling was. She was feeling warm all over. Extra warm all over. And you know snowflakes love to be cold, not warm. All she knew was she was changing. She was losing her beautiful, unique shape. She was melting. As she slowly felt herself melting and changing, she realized that she had landed ever so softly in the ocean. It wasn't just a stream or a river or even a lake. It was a great big ocean. Suddenly, she was afraid. "What is happening to me?" she thought. "If I change my shape, how will all my brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins and friends find me, especially in this huge, wet place?" Susie was indeed changing into a drop of water in an ocean of drops. But even though Susie was changing her shape, she still felt like Susie. As each of the drops in the ocean surrounded her and welcomed her, Susie realized for the first time that she was still Susie, only in a different form. And now she had lots of new friends to play with. The drops told her that at one time they too had been snowflakes that had fallen to Earth, just like she did. And at first, they too felt the same way she did. Then they learned they had always been a part of the ocean they were in now, and they were just returning home. I hope that you enjoyed the story of Susie Snowflake and her journey, and I hope that it helps you on all of your journeys through life.